In a random back alley set, born and raised, because it was the only set available for filming today, we welcomed you to our new show, Smash It, a show we made up to talk about movies and to waste money on commemorative plates.
Up today, Jaden's dad. Has he made more good movies? More bad movies? We're gonna talk about him, tally up the scores, and see if this plate gets smashed or if it gets its place on the hutch of, you know, pretty goodness.
Yo, plate, smash you later!
Is Will Smith the biggest movie star of all time? He was, at one time, the biggest movie star on the planet.
Not anymore, but he was.
I still, in my mind, think Tom Cruise, but Will Smith is right. I mean, he's in the conversation. He should be in the conversation.
I'm not 100% convinced.
I think Will Smith's legacy is, number one, how you can start your career in one point and end it somewhere almost entirely different.
He's just one of the most successful rappers turned actor, turned back rapper, does whatever he wants of all time. Get jiggy with it.
He's one of the first guys to ever win a Grammy for the rap category, for hip hop.
Albums with DJ Jazzy Jeff were just the creme de la creme, and then the Millennium, you know, Y2K stuff.
My favorite Will Smith song is Summertime.
Summertime, summertime.
I'll throw on Big Willie style. It's never gone out of Big Willie style.
Welcome to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami.
The key to a great song is to have a chorus that is mostly just nonsense.
Na 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 na, getting jiggy with it.
Getting jiggy with it is a spirit.
It's about self-expression. That's what Will Smith wants for us.
My doctor told me at a very young age I should probably not get jiggy with it.
I don't really know any other way than to get jiggy with it.
I got jiggy with it a lot in high school.
Yeah, I'm alive. Of course I've gotten jiggy with it.
I like to keep my jiggy to the privacy of my own home.
I like to think that I've gotten jiggy with it. In reality, maybe once or twice have I actually gotten jiggy with it.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised.
On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
Da 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 da.
When I was shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
When a couple of guys that were up to no good.
Started making trouble in my neighborhood.
I got in one little fight.
My mom got scared and said,
I'm not singing. I'm not doing it.
I was the hugest Fresh Prince fan.
It was a great fish out of water story mixed with a great family sitcom, but you also had Will Smith's kind of brand of humor.
This is not my CD player, see? Because my CD player has the wires on the inside.
Listen, the fashion choices on that were A++.
Smithsonian level 90s.
The iconic wearing of the school uniform inside out.
My jacket is a fashion miracle, though, isn't it?
One time they had Tevin Campbell on.
Happy birthday.
And I watched that episode until it wore out the tape.
I always loved James Avery as Uncle Phil. Will got on his nerves. I loved their relationship, but he also was really loving, like that just heartbreaking episode where Will's dad leaves him.
How come you don't want me, man?
It's a tie. It's like a Uncle Phil Carlton tie.
I feel like Carlton's one of those people who thought he was very worldly and refined, and that was kind of the joke, was like he was not at all.
Step-by-step instructions for the Carlton dance is to lose all sense of rhythm, lose all sense of dignity, and just let it fly.
That's iconic.
Honestly, Carlton kind of gets jiggy with it.
I met Alfonso Ribeiro. I wanted a picture with him. I was like, can we do the Carlton? And he was just like, yeah. You know what? I don't care if it wasn't great for him. It was great for me. There was some disagreement between Will and the producers and the original Aunt Viv, and then...
You know, Miss Banks, since you had that baby, there's something different about you.
They just like replaced her, thinking what, we're not gonna notice? That's so messed up.
First on Viv was for like 4 seasons, maybe 5, and then second on Viv took us home, or light-skinned on Viv, as I like to call her.
When I think of Will Smith, I think of Independence Day.
If I was gonna start that movie one sentence, it is aliens attack the Earth and only one who can stop them is America.
The plan to defeat the aliens was to brawl with them.
The plan to defeat the aliens in Independence Day was to get Will Smith, who was the best fighter pilot in the world, to blow up their ships.
What did they blow up? The mothership? Who knows?
This is like one of 17 movies that Will Smith did where he pairs up with one other person to try to take down some kind of alien force.
Independence Day launched Will Smith, and it also solidified who he was going to be as an actor, as an action star.
Will Smith's best moment in Independence Day is when he punches the alien in the face and says,
Welcome to Earth.
He was so mighty that he punched an alien wearing impenetrable body armor and knocked him out for hours.
That's not even its face, it's just kind of like an exoskeleton shell. Will Smith punches so hard, he can punch your mech suit and still knock you out.
What a great, just popcorn movie moment.
I just always forget that his wife's a stripper in that movie. You're on a military pension. Get your wife off the pole.
I love him and Goldblum walking back victorious.
It's after they've defeated the alien empire or whatever, and the ship crashes and they walk out with the cigars. That's great.
I love him dragging the alien on the parachute.
You got me out here dragging your heavy ass through the burning desert. And what the hell is that smell?
If I saw an alien, I would shit my pants. And Will Smith is just like annoyed.
That's right! That's right!
One of Will Smith's best performances, without a doubt for me, is the first Men in Black.
I loved Men in Black when it came out.
Will Smith is a cop dressed in ridiculous 90s clothes, and he chases an alien. Tommy Lee Jones hires him to become a man in black, and they save the world from a giant bug that eats sugar and water. And anytime the action or the pace of the movie is starting to slow down, Will Smith looks at something and makes a wisecrack about it.
I feel like I'm gonna break this damn thing.
It was a fun alien movie. It wasn't a scary one. It was like gross and weird.
It used animatronics and it used CG, like good, like early CG. Vincent D'Onofrio is great.
Sugar and water. I need sugar and water.
Give me water and sugar. Give me sugar.
It is really underrated. People should like him in that movie more than they like Will Smith.
And his wife, who's played by Siobhan Fallon, I love her, even though it's a small role. It's like, you're not Agar.
Everyone on those screens is an alien.
Oh, this person's famous, but they're an alien?
I think current celebrity aliens, Sylvester Stallone would still be there.
Let's go with Tom Brady.
Carson Daly.
Tommy Wiseau is definitely an alien.
You must be kidding, aren't you?
I particularly enjoy the part of Men in Black that tells you how to dance to it.
Talk about great songs. Here come the men in black, men in black. There were other words probably at some point.
Wild Wild West is something.
I remember enjoying Wild Wild West. It's probably not a good movie.
Wild Wild West is truly a dumb movie.
An absolute cluster F of things that don't need to be in a film at any point.
I don't understand why all of you can't get on the Wild Wild West train, because it's a badass train.
Will Smith is a sheriff. Kevin Kline is like a weird steampunk scientist. And there's an evil landowner with a big robot spider.
I remember Salma Hayek had some great dresses. I think some of them were purple.
It's Salma Hayek, she's super hot. And you got explosions, you have a big ass spider.
The villain with the spider legs and then the mecha spider, there's like spider stuff going on.
He has an 80-foot tarantula.
Why does this exist? Who is the audience for this?
It was like a steampunk, western, alien, hybrid musical. Is there music in that? I feel like they're dancing at a certain point.
I think that the song Wild Wild West is great.
If you watch Wild Wild West and at the very end you're like, I have no idea what I just watched, guess what? Will Smith is going to tell you the entire plot of the movie in song.
If I could just get a Will Smith song at the end of every movie that summarized the whole plot for me, that would be really great.
If there's any movie that needed a summary and a wrap, it was definitely Wild Wild West.
I just sold myself on it again. Why are we not watching this right now?
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Billy.
That is not a good movie.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with I Am Legend. Like, the concept is interesting in kind of a Twilight Zone-y way.
I Am Legend is kind of like Will Smith versus the zombie apocalypse.
Everyone else on Earth is gone except for him.
It's just about him and his dog Samantha living in New York, trying to catch and murder all of these zombie things.
I Am Legend is a really strong film, except for the CGI of the whatever those people turn into. The effects, as far as like the city being abandoned, is real stillly impressive. And Will Smith gives a really good performance, man.
Fred, if you're real, you better tell me right now. If you're real, you better tell me right now.
Spoilers, the dog dies. That was terrible.
If you don't cry when he has to kill his dog, you, sir, have no soul. That is one of the most heart-wrenching scenes of any movie I've ever seen.
That is worse than being the last man on Earth. It's worse than everybody else dying.
Forget Marley and Me. It's I Am Legend and that dog. Ugh.
Is I Am Legend different than Legends of the Fall?
I think a lot of people credit Independence Day to making Will Smith this big star. It was like his jump from TV to film. For me, it was Bad Boys.
Bad Boys 1 has everything that you want to see from Will Smith.
Put the gun down and give me a pack of tropical fruit bubblicious.
He's wisecracking.
You drive almost slow enough to drive Miss Daisy.
He's shooting stuff. He's running with his shirt off.
Running in slow motion. He's chasing like a car.
He's got great chemistry with Martin Lawrence.
Two not quite megastar actors yet that are really trying to like step it up with a whole lot of circular camera shots, guns, explosions.
Behind Merton Riggs, I'd be willing to put them solid number 2.
You're sick. So, see, something is wrong with you. You have a problem and you should have yourself checked.
We do need more Bad Boys movies. Why stop at 2? Why 2? That's a weird number. Movies are best in trilogies. The 4th one, they go to space. We need more Bad Boys movies.
I didn't think Bright was as bad as everybody said it was. Was it great? No.
It takes a lot to tear the charisma out of Will Smith, and somehow Bright did it.
A lot of people are hating on this movie. First of all, it's free. It's on Netflix.
It was a movie where he was Will Smith in a role that did not call for him to be Will Smith.
He just does some real classic Will Smith runs, and absolutely none of them make me like him in that movie.
So I need you to take your fat, Shrek-looking ass back to your vehicle and drive the home to Fiona.
I'm pretty sure that they sold this movie as Training Day meets Lord of the Rings.
It's more like Warcraft meets Training Day.
Bright is every other David Ayer movie meets Acid.
It's just weird.
He murders a fairy and then says fairy lives don't matter.
When you're doing a movie that is so heavy-handed with social commentary, you have to be careful about the jokes and stuff.
What even is the commentary there?
Yeah, like, what are you saying? What is this? What are you saying?
This ain't no small talk. This is big ass talk.
You got kind of like the police procedural kind of element to it, but you know, they're cracking down on orcs and goblins and stupid creature stupids. I mean, it does sound dumb. I feel like I'm talking myself out of it as I describe it.
I hate Will Smith in Bright, and I love Will Smith.
I don't think I've ever been more disappointed in a movie than I was with Hancock.
This was one of the worst superhero movies of all time, but almost so bad it's good.
Good job.
Yeah, Hancock had a great premise, but it didn't quite live up to it.
He's this superhero who doesn't really care about saving people. He'll do it, but he'll do it with a bad attitude, and he's super drunk.
Pull over and give yourselves up quietly.
Why not have a drunk superhero flying around?
The guy deserves to let off a little steam if he's saving the day all the time. Let him have a drink.
Some people are more likely to be superhero when they're drunk. Call him Whiskey Man. The Whiskey Man can. Will Smith can write a song about that. Hitch was great. He's like a love doctor, and he falls in love with Eva Mendes, and like that's such a hot couple.
He's kind of like a PG-13 version of Tom Cruise's character in Magnolia.
I think you may have misunderstood what I do exactly.
He's trying to advise Kevin James. He's trying to give him help, love help.
Next subject.
Never take dating advice from someone that good looking. They don't know how to actually talk to anyone. They've never had to.
Yes, I would take dating advice from Will Smith. Why wouldn't I? He landed Jada, and she didn't like him at first.
I honestly don't think I would want any advice from Will Smith. On paper, he seems really cool, but he was in Suicide Squad.
What are you, some kind of Suicide Squad?
Ugh, that is a really bad movie. I don't even think of Suicide Squad as being a Will Smith movie.
Don't make me shoot you.
I honestly think it's a testament to how charismatic Will Smith is that he dug something watchable out of that movie, because it's a bad movie.
I actually think it's an underrated DC film.
I feel like Warner Brothers knew what they were doing when they hired Will Smith.
I want to see Will Smith's Deadshot. I don't really care about any of the other ones though.
And Will Smith, as Will Smithy as he is in it,
Lady, you are evil.
was hired to be Will Smith. That's the point.
He's not the problem with Suicide Squad. I think there are lots of problems, but he's not one of them.
I mean, he's doing his best, but the best part of Suicide Squad is either Amanda Waller or the credits.
Collateral Beauty is definitely a movie where you can tell the screenwriter thought, I am making something brilliant here, and just didn't have anybody bring him back down to earth.
This is the worst movie ever made, and Will Smith is in it.
Howard doesn't write letters to people, he writes to things.
He writes letters to death, time, and love. They're trying to make him think he's crazy so that he's declared insane. But then in the end, it turns out that they really were death, time, and love. It's the dumbest thing ever put on film.
Collateral Beauty, what does that even mean? Like something got prettier just by accident?
The phrase collateral beauty is supposed to be like a dumber version of like, look on the bright side. Like, you know, your kid died, but the collateral beauty is you got the room for a pool table.
I'm not sure which actor should be most embarrassed by being in this movie. I'm just most embarrassed that I saw this movie.
Weird, since this is completely and arbitrarily rigged by us, but it's a tie?
So much like Will Smith's kind of confused expression on this plate, we're gonna just stick him somewhere in the back and hope you don't notice. Joe, hit it.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised, Will Smith was in between Star Wars and Russell Crowe.
Joe, do you know any other Will Smith songs?
Yeah, plenty. In the Wicked Wild West, born and raised, Will Smith was friends with Kevin Kline and Selma Hayek.
All right, stop. Guys, hope you enjoyed that episode of Smash Hit. Let us know in the comments below who, what, or when you'd like us to do next, and we'll probably ignore it and do whatever we want. Hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.